Hi, I'm Meredith Shanley from whatsforlunch.com. I'm going to be starting a weekly video series called The Spice Diaries. Each week I'm going to choose a spice to highlight that you probably already have in your pantry. You know the ones. You bought it because you needed a teaspoon for some random recipe and you haven't used it since. Well, never fear. I'm going to give you a video demonstration, a flavor profile of the spice I've chosen, and hopefully you'll come away with something that will become a staple in your recipe box. This week I'm focusing on cumin. Cumin is a really warm, fragrant kind of spice that's usually used in Indian or Middle Eastern or Mexican style cuisines. It's native to really hot climates, which is why you wouldn't normally see it in, say, an Irish soda bread, but which is also why you wouldn't be able to imagine lamb meatballs or chicken enchiladas without it. The recipe I've chosen this week is sort of a chicken pita nacho, and the reason I chose it is that though I'm using poached chicken in this recipe, it's actually a great way to use up your Thanksgiving turkey leftovers. So let's get started. I have over here just some simmering water. It's really important when you're poaching to keep your water or your poaching liquid at a simmer. If it comes to a boil, it's just going to make your meat tough and sort of stringy. So you're going to have your simmering water, and you want to give it a nice, healthy pinch of salt, because that's what's going to season whatever it is that you're cooking in your poaching liquid. And then we're just going to put in a boneless, skinless chicken breast. And we're going to let that simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until it's cooked through. And in the meantime, we're going to chop some veggies. So I'm going to start with a whole jalapeno, a fresh jalapeno. I actually, strangely enough, know a lot of people who are afraid to use fresh jalapenos because they think it's going to sting their fingers. I'm here to tell you that unless you're chopping 25 fresh jalapenos, it's not going to happen. Just make sure to give your hands a good rinse when you're finished. So we're just going to cut it in nice strips like this, and we're going to put it in a nice even dice. So there's no need to be afraid. Never fear. Dig right in. So we've got our diced jalapenos, and we're just going to put it right into our mixing bowl. So the next thing that we're going to do is add half of a red onion. The best and fastest way to chop a red onion is just to, or any sort of onion, is to just come horizontally like this towards the root end, okay? You want to keep the root end intact because that's what's holding everything together. And then you're just going to come down vertically like this. And then you're just going to slice. And it produces a really nice, pretty, even dice. And it's fast. See? There, I'm done. I've finished chopping my red onion. And that goes right in too. So the next thing that we're going to do is chop maybe a quarter of a handful of fresh cilantro. And this is a really great place to talk about flavor profiles and how to pair and match your spices. A good way, we're just going to rough chop the cilantro. A good way to think about it, if you're not familiar with the spice and you're not sure what to pair with it, a good way to go about it is to think about what kinds of cuisines it's normally used in. So for example, cumin, like I said, is normally used in Indian and Mexican type cuisines, which is why cilantro and cumin are a really natural pairing. Cilantro is a fresh herb that grows in really warm climates, and so it's often used in conjunction with cumin in, for example, curries or those lamb meatballs I mentioned. It's also great with cumin in a marinade for steak or chicken for fajitas. And another recipe that's really good in is, for example, the turkey chili that I had on my site last week. So that goes into our bowl as well. So we have our jalapeno, our red onion, and our cilantro. And I just happen magically to have here some already pulled poached chicken. I did keep one piece intact so I can just show you what I want you to do. So really, this literally is pulled chicken. You're just going to cool it down so it's easy to work with your hands. You're not going to be burning yourself, and you're just going to pull it apart. And this is why this is a really great way to use up your leftover Thanksgiving turkey, because Once you've already picked the turkey from all the bones in the carcass, you've already sliced it, it sort of gets a little shaved anyway, and it's already kind of pulled. So not only by using your leftover turkey are you alleviating the poaching step, but you've also kind of already pulled it. So this becomes a really quick, fast, easy way to use up some of those leftovers. I don't know about you, but generally by Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, I'm kind of tired of the traditional turkey Thanksgiving flavors anyway. I've had at least 2 helpings on Thanksgiving alone, and then Friday I'll have a massive turkey sandwich with cranberries and stuffing. By Saturday I'm kind of wanting something else. So this is a great way to still use those leftovers, but add in kind of a different Southwestern Mexican-y flavor profile. So we've got our chicken all pulled and ready. And now we're going to add the all-important cumin. So this just has a really nice, warm, fragrant, toasty kind of flavor. We're going to do about 1.5 teaspoons because it's really, it's pretty strong. So you want to be a little sparing with it. So there goes our cumin, and we're just going to add maybe 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. Again, in thinking about what spices to pair with this, chili powder is also a spice that's used in Mexican and Southwestern type cuisines, and it's used a lot with cumin. So we're just going to do maybe 1/2 teaspoon of that. That goes in with our chicken. And then we're going to add in our cheeses. We have about 1 cup of shredded Monterey Jack. And then we have 8 ounces, or just 1 package, of room temperature cream cheese. And this is going to really help bind everything together. And the cheeses are just going to get nice and melty and ooey gooey. It's going to be so good. Okay, so now we have our mixture all combined. It's all sort of evenly incorporated in here. And I have here 2 halves of whole wheat pita. I've just literally cut it down through the center, so it's almost like a pita pizza. And we're just going to put a little bit of our mixture onto each half and just spread it on. It's so simple. And another thing that's really great about this recipe is that once you've gotten through this stage where you have the cheese and chicken or turkey mixture spread onto your pita, you can wrap these up and freeze them. So if you ever have sort of unexpected company and you need a quick hors d'oeuvre or snack to serve, these will freeze up to 3 months. So it's really great and handy to have around. So we're just going to spread this on. We're going to put it right onto a cookie sheet. And do the other one. This is also really great football food. And, you know, in my opinion, nothing goes together better than turkey and Thanksgiving and football. So, you know, come Saturday or Sunday, college or NFL football, this is a great thing to put out for anybody who might be spending the day in front of the tube. Now we have our oven preheated to 375. We're just going to throw it in for like 10 to 15 minutes until the cheese gets nice and bubbly and the crust of the pita gets crispy. Okay, so we are good to go. I'm just going to cut this into 6ths to sort of mimic the shape of a tortilla chip, hence chicken pita nachos. We'll do it in 8ths actually. Let's do that. And the cheese is all nice and melty and gooey. And the cumin just smells so nice and warm and spicy, and you can really smell the onions and the jalapeno and the cilantro. It looks so good. I'm sorry. I can't wait for you. I have to take a bite. It's perfect. So here you have it. Chicken or turkey pita nachos. Try it out at home. Let me know what you think. Now you'll have to excuse me because I have a very hungry, very patient cameraman/husband to feed, and you have some cooking to do. Make sure to come back next week and check out my next entry of the Spice Diaries. Thanks.